2, and this is the more complicated version of Royal Garden Blues. I'm just going to play through it and let you see what we're up to, and then I'll explain how you can approach it. All right, there's a quick little version of that. It was written by Clarence Williams and Spencer Williams, 1919. I don't have backstory on them. I wonder if they were brothers, possibly. Um, the Royal Garden Blues, it wasn't written in New Orleans. It was actually written, I think, in New York City, but it became a New Orleans staple, especially for buskers on Royal Street. You'll find it there. And it's one of those songs that seems to have a lot of life left in it. It's great for brass bands. It's just a little 1-5 movement. So we're going from a 1, F scale, F major. And think about how our C7 is right there, our 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're kind of going back and forth between the 1 and the 5, although the 5 is a little fancy, and that's why it's a little bit jazzier because it has a sharp 5 in it, a sharp 5, okay? So we have the root, the third, the sharp 5, and then the flat 7 here, and you get that crunchy, crunchy spot. Now, I've just done this arrangement with a real crunchy spot, right? So that's doesn't have to cluster like that. You could actually do this a little differently where you could, like if you're comping, you could go, you could grab those, like, let's see, here's my flat 7, here's my sharp 5. That's kind of neat when you invert the F, you could grab it that way. Isn't that neat? So when you invert chords, you're going to find them in different ways to like reach for them. It's just really cool, and I hope you spend a lot of time playing around with shaping chords because that's where the magic happens. All right, so let's take a look at this. The intro, we're just going to go A, F, and then here's the cluster, the sharp 5, the flat 7. Okay, I'm calling that a flat 7 because in scale, C major would have a flat 7 there. Those classically trained will want to be probably calling that a dominant, and that's totally right. It's the dominant 5 chord of F. Both things work, but just this is a directional thing. So we flat that 7 or minor that 7 to find it. We sharp the 5 to find it. And moving on, we're going to have a little bit of left hand underneath this. We're going to go A, which is the third of F. Notice I'm matching. I'm matching over my chords. I tried to keep that very obvious. So it's kind of a matching game. And I'm going to go root and 5th. And I threw the 5th down on the 4th beat to sort of lay it down after your right hand is busy. So watch me do this. We go left, and then so this goes together, right, left, right? So there's like, if I can spit this out. So together, and here's your right hand, left, together, right hand, left. And that's actually pretty easy. Now, this next little part, and I find intros are always like the hardest part of the song for some reason because they want to make them fancy. This one is just going up your F chord from the A, and then this is that little A flat diminished chord And then we have C at the top inverted. And then we drop down to it, inverting it differently. Okay? So that, again, that's just C7 stuff. It's like B flat, E, and G up top. See, this is your C with the B flat there. And then we come down to it. And this is a real classical move, right? The F, that's that little cadence of the 1 and the 5 and the 1. That's a good little thing to practice. Now, the A flat diminished, you could just leave it out. If you find that too hard, just leave it out. It's totally fine. It works just as well, right? All right, now the left hand drops down and we are an octave down on F. I'm just looking at my camera to see if that actually can be seen from the camera. So here we go. A, F, cluster, A, F, cluster, C. In the left, A, F, cluster. And now here's a new chord, really. Isn't that bluesy? Oh my goodness. So we have the E flat showing up here. And this is kind of a telltale sign that we're moving into our B flat scale. Although the sheet music doesn't say we're moving into another scale, we really are. The B flat to the F, and then we have E flats are going to start showing up because we're really in the B flat scale, going root to fifth, root to fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See that root? See that 5-7 chord right there, the dominant right there. Okay, now same motif though, rhythmically, right? Ta, ti, 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 ta. Okay, you feel that's a repetitive thing happening. You should, because that's what's happening. I'm gonna say my fingering. When I come down, I have to think about that. I have that too, and then so my fourth finger should be on the G. So set up there correctly. And then you kind of do a little wrist twist. Left thumb. Crunchy spot. Fourth time. And then we're going to have a B flat 7. Just the third and the flat 7 here. And then C major, but we're going to make it a 7. It's kind of turning it around. And then this little, let's talk about that. We've got the D flat 7 happening, just really briefly. But you'll notice I've simplified it. So it's just the fifth, the 7, the flat 7 right here. We're sidestepping into that C7. And here's the beauty of 7 chords. They're next door to each other. So if I know my C7, up from there is the D flat 7. This is really useful stuff. We're going to sidestep a lot in jazz, in jazzy tunes. So, and then we're back to F with just the third here, right? There's the third of F, the third, and the octave on top. Keep it just really simple. Then go to the second finger. Don't go to the thumb. I've done this a few times because I'm so used to going, root fifth. So watch out at the end. We're going to go to the 4 chord. There's a 4 chord, and we're back. And we want to turn around. That's what this is called. It brightens it, it lifts it, and it says, go back to the top. Okay, so there's that. Now let's look at this last ending of this piece. We have A and F, B flat, major. And so F is major as well. And then at the very end, just a high and a low F to kind of give a little punctuation at the end of it. Okay, so what else do I want to say about this? I think, this little classical move is really good. practice. Um, we talked about how the 7 chord is on step 5. Let's review that really quick. Here's our root. Here's our 5, 7 chord. Okay. Here's our root. Here's our 5, 7 chord. I say a 5, 7. It's called a lot of things. Dominant 7, 5, 7. You'll understand that sometimes chords get called a lot of things, and you'll get to know them. Okay, I think that's all I can think of to say about this right now. I think I'm going to record a comp clip just to give you a sense of what you could do if you're playing with horn players, because it's kind of a cool song to have in your arsenal of songs to play with other people. It's simple, and it has all these potential things you can do with the chords just in shaping them. So let's do that in a totally different clip. But there's the Royal Garden Blues. I hope you enjoyed this clip. Thanks for listening.